So if we want to build something huge, it's just nothing. There's no reason to just focusing in Japanese. Yeah, there's no reason for just focusing Japanese market. If you just want to build for 10 million ARR, that's fine. If you want to just go to the kind of 500 million IPO, that's fine. Just focusing Japanese. But if you want to build, literally make the change the world, there's no reason for targeting the Japanese. That's my perspective.
Hi everyone, I'm Kaori, the host of AI Founders Mindset. Recently, I hosted an in-person event in Tokyo. The concept was Go Global. We invited 3 Japanese startup founders who already have paying customers and aiming to global. I co-hosted Barry O'Neill, the investor at Value Create. Our guest speakers are Sachiko, founder of SHOSABI, bringing AI personal training to the UK and Middle East. Takuya, a founder of AssetHub, building AI-powered 3D gaming experience and moving his startup to the US. Kimmy, founder of BaseMe, helping Gen Z students find jobs with AI career support, already used by Toyota and KPMG. It was an authentic, interactive conversation, and I'm excited to share it with you. Let's dive in.
Okay, thank you so much. So today we're gonna do panel talk. We invited these visionary founders, so Japanese startup founders who already have paying customer and aiming to the global market. So we can use this wonderful value from Value Create.
Thank you. So I'm Barry. I'm a member of the team here in Value Create. I'm also one of the 2 EIOrs at Techstars. So we actually just moved into this office a few months ago. What are we? We are fundamentally a management consulting group that works with large Japanese corporates. We take our profits that we make with those corporates and we invest in the startup community, principally in impact companies. We are an investor in Kimmy-san's business, BaseMe, so we'll talk about that in a moment. And we're angel-sized checks. We write checks for between 5 million and about 25 million yen. And we write maybe 6 to 10 checks a year. So I'm always interested in meeting new founders, new startups, new ideas. We're actually not afraid to be the first check in. So if you've got a great idea and you're finding it difficult to raise money, come talk to us. My own background is three-time entrepreneur, 2 exits. My last exit was a pretty large exit in the ed tech space, a company called Story Toys. So that's me. And when we introduce the panel, you can maybe say a few words about yourselves.
Yeah.
It's on.
It's on. Okay, nice to meet you. I'm Sachiko from the SHOSABI. SHOSABI means the great movement in Japanese, the word, and it's related to Japanese, the budo or sado or something like that. So based on that, now what we are doing, do you have the confidence, your posture and movement? Can you work well? Are you sure? Yeah, that is sometimes it was very difficult to move well because the coordination, brain and our muscle coordination is very difficult. So we have the great AI personal trainer and personal practitioner, and we started it selling in the UK and the Middle East, and we have a great communication with big company in the US.
And you already have a customer in UK and Dubai, correct?
Yeah, UK and Dubai. So the last day we released the new version in the great Dubai's fitness gym. It's a 4,000 square meter. It's a 10 basketball court. Yeah, and they made our SHOSABI group. Yeah.
Can we try and do somewhere?
Yeah, in Google for startup place, you can try that. Please come and try it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Takuya, founder of AssetHub. We are building the AI native 3D editor, so making the gaming 3D character environments empowered by AI. So right now I moved to US and then right now the go force to Tokyo in the US. But previously I co-founded some Japanese company. So, which was at Gaudi, raised $100 million in total, and then became a pretty good company. So, yeah, right now, so the many Japanese founder are really struggling with going global, right? So that's why I'm very interested in moving to US and then learn the difference between US and Japan. So now I'm doing those kind of things. So yeah, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone. So my name is Kimmy Hirakatsumi. Just call me Kimmy. As the Barry introduced me, so I'm running a startup called BaseMe. So we building for AI support for career support for Gen Z. So basically for students for struggling to get a job for new grads. We operating in Japan basically. So last year we have 30,000 users for monthly active users. And we matching for users and companies. Toyota using our services, and KPMG, Thomas. Those clients are our kind of clients. And we're focusing on Japanese students right now. And previously we tried to go to market to the US, like UC Berkeley and Stanford, those markets. We failed and came back to Tokyo and tried a bunch of things, more go to global. So I'm still like struggling to going to the global. But our CTO is from India, and we're a really global team. So software engineers is global. We basically in Shibuya, next to University of the Aoyama Gakuin Daigaku. And a little bit of my background. So I was born and raised in Tokyo, Japan, and I started my startup when I was in college students. So Barry invested in me when I was like 22 years old, which I didn't know anything about like stock. In stock, in Japanese way of say is kabu. Right? Kabu, same means for radish, right? My parents are vegetable buyers, so I thought it was like stock means like radish, right? That's my level of startup the knowledge. And I started my kind of career, and eventually we raised from 6 million last year from Will and Cyber Agent, and yeah, Silicon Valley VC. So that's a little bit of my background. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. So we are so curious. So why you guys want to go to global? So and okay, why? And also what kind of like challenge or pain point currently you have? Maybe hiring or cultural difference or maybe localization or marketing. So could you please tell us?
So the first of all, like the Japanese are, the speaker is just you know, you could say for 120 million, that's our market, right? For if we were doing for Japanese kind of the startups. But so for software, for what we are just doing, it's very hard for language issues, right? If you build kind of the smartphone or cars or mobility stuff, you don't need to learn the languages, right? But for the scene, for AI, more software, maybe animation, those things, it needs some very language like understanding. And if we just start for targeting Japanese student, it's just time is so small. We cannot be your unicorn, you cannot be your decacorn. So if we want to build something huge, it's just nothing. There's no reason to just focusing on Japanese. And I never been to the road when I was until 18 years old. I taught myself and even in English. So I think the very issue is the people don't try to go to global. That's that thing. And then we met in Barry. And yeah, there's no reason for just focusing Japanese market. If you just would build for 10 million ARR, that's fine. If you want to just go to the kind of 500 million IPO, that's fine. Just focusing Japanese. But if you want to build, literally make it change the world, there's no reason for targeting the Japanese. That's my perspective.
Okay, so first, the why going global. Okay, it's simply said to become some kind of rule maker. So okay, when it comes to Japanese startup, they generally import the global trend and customize it for Japanese markets. So the product strategy is totally different. At first, for US, focusing on quite a niche segment, and they take over entire people from the world, right? So they just take every innovator from the world, and each can the business. But if you just purely focus on Japan, we need to secure everyone in Japan, from innovator to laggard. So the product strategy is much more onboarding less innovative people with more kindness or the supportive process. So that's why it's quite tough to go global when you build the basics in Japan. So just I'd like to do more the US side and then just innovate new concepts and then make it de facto standard. So that's why I must move to US and do business there. And then maybe the struggling is that at first, in Japan, and securing the enterprise is the easiest way to grow. But in US or other global market, it's completely different, right? So just as a Japanese founder, what I'm struggling with is how we can balance the enterprise business plus the product-led growth. So yeah, I think that when I moved to US, I really feel that we must leverage each one's background. As a Japanese, leverage the enterprise is a quite important thing. But at the same time, we must secure the PRG process. So I think that if a Japanese founder could establish a good way to leverage both way, I mean the PRG and the plus enterprise, it could be next standard way. Previously for example, the Andreessen invested to many Chinese founder, right? Because there is some GP from China, and her strategy was invest into Chinese and then just bring the latest idea from China to US.
That's right.
Yeah, so that was one of the strategy, and this is a complete tied with the background, right? So for Japanese startup ecosystem, we need to invent those kind of new schema for winning, right? So I think that's first leveraging both enterprise and just at the same time secure PRG way is one way. Japanese startup ecosystem should seek for maybe. This is what I'm thinking. Yeah, thank you.
We started in the Middle East and the UK. It's the right place, I think. So the Japanese is a little bit behind of the healthcare because we have the great system of the hospital. So we can easily to access all kind of the healthcare. So all Japanese don't care not so much for the body situation, and we did not have to go to the fitness gym, and we did not care even our posture or good looking or looking young or something like that. So we have to find the right place to invest in our technology. So we try to the extent have the exhibition in the global one, and the Middle East and the UK and the US people join they come and our booth, and they are so excited. That is the start of my journey. So we selected the right place and growing the place. That is the reason. And the struggle, one is the jet time lag. So some trouble is occur in the midnight in Japan. So our tech guy have to help them at the midnight, and in the morning we have to talk with the American people. We know the Earth is the run, and every time someone wake up. So that is the one thing, and the other thing that the Japanese, very strict, or they keep the promise, or it's very different from the way of the thinking of the other people. Especially, I'm very sorry if someone from the Middle East. The Middle East is very unique way of the thinking. So we have to check very detailed, and we have to make the schedule, and we need a different type of the way of the thinking.
I have some comments on that because I'm Irish, and Hiroshi, who was around earlier, he actually started a company in Japan in 2003. We had an office in Ireland, an office in New York, and an office in California, and that's how we solved the time lag issue. We made sure we had an engineer and somebody who was able to solve a problem in every given market. Culture is a huge factor in these things. We talk about the challenges of working with different cultures. There's a couple of great books. One is called When Cultures Collide, I can't remember the name of the author. It will come back to me. It tells you about it's like a manual for navigating any culture, the style of business, the pattern of speech, what to expect in a meeting, and how you can basically adjust yourself to expect what that culture will throw at you. Because I think there's a famous saying from Peter Drucker, says culture eats strategy for breakfast. So no matter what you are doing, if you can't interact, if your internal company culture is wrong, but also if you're unable to deal with other cultures, you're not going to succeed in an overseas capacity. So I'm very curious as to, when you try, what sort of challenges you see and where you think things can go wrong. I'm especially interested, Kimmy-san, in your experiences, going overseas and your observations and learning. I have lots to say about these matters.
So I didn't mention about verticulture issues. But I think it's the most important thing is that I will translate to culture from more mindset. So Japanese start mindset and also the global mindset is completely different. So if you can imagine for interview to Toyota or I don't know, the other enterprise company. So if I'm gonna tell them, so I failed 8 times and cracked the company, bankrupt, and then I had experience. They probably said, oh my God, I'm not gonna hire you because you will miss again, right? But if you just interview with the other, maybe like global, the company, wow, you have 8 times failed, so you know how to fail, right? And this is very important for mindset. That fail first and learn fast, right? And Japan, it's more like you don't fail, right? This came from manufacturer strategy, right? Can you imagine for making the car, making the mobility, it is affecting for your life, right? Human life. You cannot miss. Toyota cannot miss 100 times. If that, somebody died, right? Easily. But the software, it's easy to fail, and you can fix it. You can imagine for Tesla, right? Even fail something, but update the back for software. So software developing culture and hardware developing culture is completely different. So Japan, we grow as manufacturing culture, such as we are just very serious about failing, right? But we have to forget about this. We have to go more fail fast and learn fast. And this culture affected me when I started my company, and our CTO, he's from India, and there's Jugal, right?
Yes.
Is somebody who came from India, right? So Jugal. So Jugal is, can you explain for me what is a Jugal means?
Nanda kanda. Somehow you get it to work.
Yeah, exactly. So you do what you do, right? So if you have a 100 yen, just do with 100 yen, right? This is something, the mindset, I learned so much from that. And then we could just more go to global. What I mean by that, you have to understand where you come from, and you have definitely the mindset where you born and where you grew up. But you can mix with the other country's culture. With those things, I started with the Indian team, so I learned so many things about this. So your question is basically, I failed in the US market, I came back to Japan. Okay, that's fine. I learned how to go to market in the US market, which those I'm doing. And okay, why we don't do this for India or other countries, or maybe like India or Indonesia or other countries, right? Just fail is just learning. That's just kind of the mindset myself, yeah. What do you think? US is more competitive, right?
Yeah, so of course the do and then do first and then fail later. This kind of thing is very important. Okay, as for the cultural aspect, one significant difference is concept of hiring. So it's quite affects the structure of product really much. For example, simply say Japanese company don't fire people. Generally say keep having the same person, so the onboarding the same person and then just increase their knowledge or skill set is really matters. So this is the Japanese market. In the US, of course, easy to fire and hire too, right? So that's why they don't think that they don't think a same person is still existing in the company in a few years, right? So one significant difference is that just the US markets want to have some product which secure a specific technology or solution without having the specific people. So that's why it's quite a small product, and then support specific niche knowledge or the operation flow with product is really important. But in Japan, okay, so just we estimate having the same people. So just having some kind of consulting like person, and then giving the teaching and then onboard more people, and then so let them catch up the new technology. So in US, if the person don't catch new things, that's where they will fire, right? So some AI company use cursor for firing the people. Just measure how much the engineer use the cursor. And if the rate of the credit is quite low, they will fire. So this is how US market do. But Japanese market, we must educate the person reluctant to use AI, right? So that's why the product structure is much more different. So simply say, US having the more systematic management system to onboard many people more easily, and in Japan, just onboard the more laggards or some kind of skeptical person in some ways is much more important. So this is the cultural aspects, and then something different between Japan.
I think the challenging and the try, that is the very different from the Japanese and the foreign. So sometimes the startup product is not so mature, sometimes stop or sometimes not work well. But if they feel some value for that, they will work with us and they are trying to make it more progress. So at this time, the 4 years collaborate with the fitness gym. They say, Sachiko, the congratulations of your progress. This product is so nice. They are working with me and they are progress with me. That is totally different from the Japanese people. So the Japanese company want to complete and perfect product. Not working with not growing with. Yeah, that is my thinking.
Thank you so much for watching our episode today. We hope this conversation will help your future and career. If you like it, please subscribe us and give you a like. Okay? Thank you so much. Bye bye. またね。チャオ。